Here are the top posts from askreddit on the 23rd of October 2019.
ARTX11. How did you get your scars?
Dida17. I have a big scar down the center of my chest, and two little star scars right under it. I had just turned 3 and I was at my grandparents' house with my family. My older cousin was spinning me around in a swivel chair. I fell off of the chair and landed on my side, on top of my grandmother's knitting stuff that was sitting in a basket by the chair. A knitting needle went through my side and pierced my heart. My aunt thought the needle was just caught in my shirt, and ripped it out of me. I went unconscious almost immediately. By the time I got to the hospital, I had lost a lot of blood and the doctors basically told my parents to prepare for the worst. Luckily, there was a badass heart surgeon there that performed emergency open heart surgery and saved my life. The star scars are from feeding tubes that were hooked up to me post-surgery. Very thankful. Edit. I have learned since posting this that my star scars are mostly likely from tubes for drainage. Thanks for the clarification. In the butt's tough. I got mastitis in my breast from swimming in the ocean and they had to cut a hole into it to drain it. They said bacteria channeled in through my nipple ducts. I didn't even know that could happen. Edit to add. I am a female but I've never been pregnant before, so it wasn't a breastfeeding thing. Also, doctor said the ways to prevent it are to change out of your wet bathing suit ASAP after swimming, and take Epsom salt baths. And it's pronounced mastitis, not mastitis. Lol. Holyota's otaku. I have what I lovingly refer to as Jesus scars. When I was 13, I was trying to pry something apart with a chisel and stabbed myself in the right hand by accident. When I was 23, I was using my box cutter at work to separate some boxes and cut my left hand in almost the exact same place. Can't wait to see what stupid thing I do at 33. Hideen. What was some times when you died inside?
Franz 1224. Being 45 minutes into a 1-hour drive to a meeting to realize you left the main reason for the meeting at home.
Me mommy epic. I was on a school trip to a preschool and I had bad gas. I was chilling on the floor and this little girl jumped on my stomach and I ripped ass so fucking hard.
Jones 641. Walked halfway across campus before a random dude let me know that I had a string of toilet paper hanging out of the back of my pants. There was poop. Just kill me.
Tyula. What is your favorite video game quote? Hot saucemed. Remember, switching to your pistol is always faster than reloading. Maximilian 322. I don't blame you. Turrets after you kill them in Portal. Profile lame. If God wanted you to live, he would have not created me. Cactus 3301. Redditors whose life was changed by a DNA test. What happened?
Sully 1102. My life wasn't changed, but I was contacted by someone on 23 and May wondering how we were connected since he thought he knew all his second cousins in the area. I recognized the surname as that of my biological grandfather. I answered this man's question by detailing how my grandfather had gotten my grandmother pregnant out of wedlock. Then it turned out he was already married with a family, forcing my father to be put up for adoption. I guess the guy didn't like that story and blocked me.
Graph and a queen. My family has been just my mom and I, and our dogs, for a while now. I took one and pretty much got exactly what I expected. My mom took hers and it came back that she wasn't Jewish at all. This was extremely confusing because her father and his family escaped the Nazis. Her father was definitely Jewish. She immediately knew he wasn't her father. It was horrible. At first my mom was devastated, as I'm sure you can imagine. She lost part of her identity. She looked at the part that connects you to people in your family and found someone listed under close relative whom she had never heard of. This person was listed as first cousin for me too. My mom's parents hadn't spoken to her in decades, so there was no asking the monsieur. She reached out to the close relative and found out that his parents lived next door to my mom's parents before my mom turned 1. My mom remembered a rumor that one of her cousins told her when she was little. Her mom had an affair with the next-door neighbor. Turns out, the next-door neighbor was my mom's real father. He has 3 kids around my mom's age. One is 3 months younger than her, and 3 kids about 30 younger. As you can see, he got around lol. He passed away a few years back, but the family welcomed us with open arms. When we met them, it was an instant connection, like we had been a part of their lives forever. They brought out pictures, and boy does my mom look like her father. They told me that my grandpa would be so proud of me and my accomplishments. Some of our interests and talents aligned. They told us we looked like the rest of the family. And we did. We never had that before. My mom and I went from only having each other, to her having 6 siblings, having nieces and nephews, and me having aunts and uncles and tons of cousins and a family reunion to go to each summer. I have family in 5 different states, little cousins to teach, and big cousins to look up to. My mom has a huge family, and so many people to call and talk to and to ask her how she's doing. It's amazing to watch. Weddings, birthday parties, and lots of love. Funerals too. One of my uncles passed away, but I got a chance to meet him before he did. I think he was waiting to meet my mom and me. He was an amazing person, and even though I didn't know him for long, I loved hi monsieur. My family has turned this into the best experience of my life, and my mom's too. Edit spacing. Edit 2. OMG, I went to sleep and did not expect this to blow up like it did. Thank you, kind Redditor, for gold. And thank you so much for all of your kind words. We are so happy to answer some questions. We took the test in 2017. My mom grew up with toxic, abusive parents, and they cut her off at 19. Judaism can be tested for because we're an ethnic group with certain genetic markers.
Wombat 1800. I was adopted at birth back in the 1960s. I had a happy childhood, but both of my adoptive parents died of cancer in the early 1990s. I sent my DNA into Ancestry in the hope that I'd make contact with one or both of my birth parents. Literally all I had was my mother's name on the birth certificate and my father's name on her photocopied set of adoption paperwork. When I first checked the result, I was disappointed to find only a few 3rd and 4th cousins. I emailed the ones who looked as if they visited the site regularly. It turned out they were all related to my birth father. He had also died sometime in the early 1990s. Then one day I logged back onto the site and found that I'd matched with a first cousin. I sent a tentative email saying that I'd been given up as a baby and appreciated that it was a sensitive family matter and that if he didn't want to get involved I was fine with that. But could he give me some more information about my family? He replied the next day and told me he was my uncle, and that my mother was still alive. She had given birth to me as a teenager, but had reluctantly had to give me up as her family was religious and birth dad was a deadbeat. He sent her a card saying sorry and a £20 note when he heard she'd had me, then married someone else. I made contact with her by email earlier this year. It turns out I have a half-brother and sister, as well as nieces and nephews. We are taking things slowly at the moment, but after so many years it's amazing to have a mother again. We have the same likes, dislikes and politics. I'm hoping to meet up with her next year. Hermione's Rini. What positions look great in porn but underwhelming or painful in real?
Bunny's LO. Trying to fuck a girl standing up while you're holding her. It's a workout.
Bran Waffer. Sex on the beach is not that great. Sand is not comfortable. And sex in the shower isn't all it's cracked up to be either. Water is a terrible lubricant.
JM 3,142,912. Wait, you guys are having sex? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.